If it's a mega carrier, then it ain't going to happen. But if it's a smaller carrier that is doing a lease purchase, they're trying to grow, well, then they're more likely to work with you. I talk a lot about lease purchase, and my reason for that is that there's a lot of people that they aspire to have their own truck, and they don't have the money to buy a truck, or they don't have the credit, or both. And there's a lot of people that are interested, but they kind of want to get their feet wet before biting off a big purchase like a truck. And so that's my reasoning behind doing these videos on lease purchase, is to try to share information on how they're supposed to work and the way that they actually do work with these different companies. I want to stress a couple of things, though. It doesn't matter which company you go with, if you go with one at all. You have to understand that if you're a lease purchase, or if you own your own truck and you lease it on with these companies, you are not their employee. Now, they're not going to withhold taxes on you. That's their benefit. And because they run so many company trucks, and they have so many employees, company drivers, they don't know how, in many cases, to actually utilize an independent contractor, someone that's either leased onto them or they are participating in the lease purchase program. Freedom and choices are your two biggest things. You have the freedom to be able to refuse loads if you don't want the load, you don't want to go to that area, or the load isn't paying enough. A lot of companies want to punish you if you refuse a load. Fine, go somewhere else. And let it be known up front, I will refuse loads that go to places I don't want to go, or I'll refuse loads that don't pay very well. And if this is a problem for you, well, then let's just make that known right now. If you're fine with that, then let's move forward. People aren't going to read your mind. And you guys have to learn how to speak your mind. There's a lot of people that, they'll do great speaking their mind to other truckers. They'll do great speaking their mind on the CB or making comments on YouTube channels. But when it counts, when it's you talking to your carrier, a lot of guys ain't so brave. They don't want to speak their mind. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Freedom and independence is a benefit of being an independent contractor. Choice, that's up to you. You get to choose where you want to go. And a lot of people won't necessarily agree with that. That's your opinion, even though you're wrong. But a lot of guys, they'll sign on with the program because of the kind of trucks that they have available. And that's a big part of it. I mean, you're making the commitment to drive with this company until you get that truck paid off, or someone look at it as, I'm going to be living and working in this thing, so I want what I want. I get it. Don't if you want a 379, 389 Pete, don't settle for a Cascadia. Go somewhere where you can find that 379, 389 Pete. If you want T680, go somewhere like Bay and Bay that you can get a T680 or W990. Options are out there. I saw recently where Western Flyer Express is even doing 389 Pete's. I don't know what their criteria is to get one, but they're pretty sharp. I'll admit that they're pretty sharp. In some cases, maybe consider, if you like this company's lease purchase program, everything looks good on paper, you've built a good rapport with the carrier, and you're ready to move forward, but they just don't have the equipment that you want, then ask them, look, if all you have is Cascadias, and I really don't want to spend my money that I'm working to make payments every single week. I don't want to spend my money buying something that I really don't want to own. If I commit to staying here for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, at the end of that period, can we sit down and seriously talk about getting me into the truck that I want? Some will actually consider doing that, but it's going to depend on things like, if it's a mega carrier, then it ain't going to happen. But if it's a smaller carrier that is doing a lease purchase, they're trying to grow, well, then they're more likely to work with you. I've done a video recently about this family-owned company called EOS. Talk to the owner and find out. See, hey, Harvey, if I do this, for this period of time, would you be willing to work with me and help me get the truck that I actually want? I'm not saying that he will, but I'm not saying that he won't. But when you have a family-owned company like that, a smaller company that's looking to grow, and they're looking for people that are willing to commit to them long term, your odds are a lot better. But going to JB Hunt, going to ATS, these large carriers, RE Garrison, it ain't going to happen. They're not interested in having any flexibility. They want to do things the way they want to do things. And if all they offer is Cascadias, or all they offer are, those internationals, then that's all they offer. Take it or leave it. You always have the ability to walk away and go somewhere else. There's a blue million companies out there that, number one, are smaller and more flexibility exists there than what it does with the bigger companies. There's a blue million places you can go out and get onto a lease purchase program. I mentioned recently about a company called Ascend. Now, all they have are, to the best of my knowledge, all they have are like 579 Pete's, which is a nice truck, but it may not be the truck that you want. So, again, go and talk to them, find out. Talk to the owners. These smaller carriers are much more likely to work with you. Okay, whether it's flatbed, reefer, dry van, there's someone out there. And it's kind of like trying to find the right bank. Just keep knocking on doors and be straight up with them. This is what I'm looking for. Can we work together? You'll be surprised. You might get 100 no's before you get a yes, but you will find a yes if you're tenacious, if you're diligent, and you keep your end objective in mind. Sometimes in order to get what you want, you need to change your approach. Keep your same goal, your same objective, but instead of going straight for it, maybe you need to take a detour and go around. Be flexible. Keep your freedom. Keep your choices. Work for what you want, because you're the one out here doing this and nobody else. I've said before that a lot of carriers simply just do not know how to run lease purchase guys. They think that you're glorified, for lack of but necessarily say glorified. They think that you're company employees, but you're not even close. Keep your freedom, keep your choices, keep your objectives. You'll get where you want, and you'll get what you want. You guys be safe, and I'll see you down the road. Bye.